or advice. Now, if we're talking about somebody who is bedridden or close to it, very, very old, very fragile, very frail, that maybe pneumonia would take out, maybe, I don't know, you know, maybe that's a good reason.
But it wouldn't be smart for us not to take it because they wouldn't make any money.
Right.
So it's good. They want you to take it.
They want you to take it because they're selling vaccines.
Right.
Someone told me that the vaccine costs $400.
Yeah. Well, I would definitely not be getting one if it cost me $400.
My sister and I are total opposites on these issues. My sister she's very energetic. She's older than I. She's very energetic. She's busy all the time, but she seeks out this medical stuff. Hey, how you doing? And she's had the shingles, the polio, not the polio, I'm sorry, the shingles, the pneumonia, the flu. I don't know if she's had the whooping cough. But she seeks these out. And here's the thing. The Public Health Service, including the FDA, Centers for Disease Prevention and Control, said back in, I don't think I got this part on this slide, but it was like the 1930s, they determined that mercury was highly toxic to human beings. And it was going to be used as a preservative, but what they said was, if you're looking at a kid dying of tetanus or whooping cough or polio or one of these the biggies, you know, maybe it's take the chance, maybe. But they weren't doing it all the time. They weren't giving vaccinations every single year for something. So this accumulates in your body. Yes, sir.
I really didn't understand what polio was.
What?
Polio.
Polio. See, that's because they did eradicate it. Polio was a very debilitating disease. Children would get it. It would destroy the muscles in their legs. It would destroy their breathing apparatus. One of our presidents had polio, FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He was in a wheelchair.
You celebrate.
He survived it, but he was left.
I have a picture of him at my home.
Okay.
A picture of all the presidents. It was no women. It was just all white people did the Rockefeller.
I know. That was a woman, right? That's a couple of women.
I mean, my teacher, she said she hope I'm one.
Little shy here, folks. Excuse me. So anyway, this is why we have to become educated as to what's going on, because we're not going to get. I shouldn't say this. We might get good advice from some doctors, but for the most part, they're going to go with what's popular, and they're going to say, yeah, you should get a flu vaccine every year. You should get this and that and this and that. And, you know, I don't want all that mercury in my system. I don't need that.
So that's saying every vaccine has, no matter what kind of vaccine it is, has that stuff in it.
You can get a live vaccine, very expensive. You can ask for live vaccines without the aerosol in it, but it's going to be very expensive, and you're going to have to go to your doctor and request it. It's not going to be readily available. You're not going to get it at CVS. You're not going to get it at Walmart. And let me tell you, measles, 9-day measles. How many have had 9-day measles? I've had 9-day measles. I survived. 9-day measles. That's what they used to call them.
Right. Chickenpox.
Chickenpox.
Twice.
Chickenpox. I had chickenpox.
They had a motion.
No, it's different.
But you know, there are certain things that are not considered fatal. I had chickenpox when I was 28 years old. I was an adult. We lived in the country, and I called up Dr. Shapiro and found up my bed, and I said, Dr. Shapiro, do you have something for me? Because I think I'm not going to make it. I was going to have chickenpox all over. He said, nobody's ever died from chickenpox. He said, you're going to make it. He said, if you get so bad that your throat closes up and you can't talk, tell somebody to bring you down to see me.
I love that.
Chickenpox are like real red things on the outside and it hurt and it's hot.
No, chickenpox are like sores all over you.
Yeah.
Pox.
My daughter had chickenpox when her son was about 3 or 4 years old. He got chickenpox, and she caught it from him, and she had him worse than he did. Yeah.
My 5-year-old at that time, that big strapping guy there was 5 at the time. It barely bothered him. On 2-3 days, he was like, "When can I go? Oh, I don't like this." You know. And then his brother, 3 years older, had him a little worse, and then I had him, and I was in bed. But I didn't die. People don't die from that stuff. Why do we have to have? Yeah. Now, antibiotics.
Go for it.
They do help destroy bacteria, but not viruses. They work in several ways. They slow down production. They interfere with bacterial cell wall formation. But once again, these are the myths that the doctors are going to tell you. They're going to say that humans do not become immune to antibiotics. That bacteria that resist antibiotics and are not completely destroyed may multiply, producing more antibiotic-resistant bacteria. That's true. But they'll tell you there's nothing wrong with taking antibiotics.
Right.
Can we overuse them? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially when they're not the appropriate treatments from the Mayo Clinic. They treat bacterial infections but not viral infections. And an antibiotic, for example, an antibiotic is an appropriate treatment for strep throat, but not just for a sore throat. You shouldn't even think about taking it.
Can I ask you a question? What is autoimmune?
That's when the body's immune system attacks
Itself. Right.
I thought about something up there about that, but that's a very complicated thing. Isn't that what rheumatoid arthritis is on an autoimmune disease? I think there are treatments that we don't know about.
Yeah.
The other thing that happens is the overgrowth of yeast. National news. Over 500,000 kids in the U.S. each year have side effects and reactions from common prescription drugs, and 5% of them are hospitalized. Children under 5 are the most affected in the drugs causing the problems run the gamut. Antibiotics have been found to cause the most problems. Keeping in mind that antibiotics kill bacteria.
Everything.
Everything. Thank you. They kill good bacteria just like they kill bad bacteria. So, in our GI system and gut, we have all of this good bacteria. And that's a big one of defense from all kinds of diseases. So, we're taking this antibiotic, thinking we're doing what the doctor told us to do it. The next thing you know, we've got some issues. We have maybe diarrhea, and babies get what's called diaper rash is really bad, and it's called thrush. Their mouths get really sore. The poor little things can't even tell us what's going on. Little bottoms get red, and they have diarrhea. And we kind of get that same thing. So I can't tell you the people that come in the store and they say, "Oh, I've got diarrhea. I think I've got a yeast infection. I think you're taking antibiotics." Well, yeah, the doctor prescribes some. Do you think maybe you need to take some live culture, some acidophilus, or some yogurt, something that will put that back in your... The doctor saying about that? No. In fact, one person came in, and guess what the doctor prescribed for the yeast infection? Antibiotics. Wow.
It's gonna grow it.
Man. Okay, so now we have some things that are good that you can do. How's my time? I'm not going to. Okay. Echinacea is an herb, and it strengthens the immune system. You're going to find that doctors are not in favor of most of these supplements at all. And they're going to tell you that, they're not protected. So, they could be harmful. Well, until they begin to understand that colds and flu and all of that are not caused by deficiencies in antibiotics, maybe they'll be willing to look at natural things. But echinacea is one of the first lines of defense.
That's like pollen?
Pardon me?
Just like pollen?
like pollen.
No, echinacea is made from that type of flower right
Yeah.
there.
Oh, it looks like, the
Yeah.
little bee is,
Yeah.
whatever it is, pollinating the flower.
Yeah.
Thank you. Vitamin C for cold is necessary for making collagen. Somebody said that too. And for many body functions. Absorption of vitamin C increases during illness. It also has a very slight antihistamine effect, and it may support some immune system.
That's bad.
No, this is good. Now, this is in 1977. Linus Pauling, by the way, has received Nobel Awards, Nobel Prize in Chemistry, Nobel Peace Prize, Roebling Medal, Lenin Peace Prize, National Medal of Science. I mean, they go on and on. This man is not a dummy. He wrote the book, Vitamin C, The Common Cold and the Flu, and he said that if he had cancer, he would take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C every 2 hours.
Wow.
Vitamin C is water soluble.
Right, 'cause it'll pass out.
It'll pass out, yes. If you take more than what you need, it'll just pass right on through you. It will not collect. And as far as cancer, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to tell you how to cure cancer. But that's what he said he would do with cancer. And I have talked to people who are alive today. There was one man who came into our store years ago, and he had pancreatic cancer, and he was given up for dead. The doctors, he'd gone through everything the doctors had for him, and they said, there's nothing more we can do for you. This man had a friend who was an herbalist, and he'd been trying to get him to do some things naturally. And, he said, well, I'm going to go with the doctors, Well, finally, he called a friend, and he said, I guess I'll take whatever you got. And he did that. He gave me vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams every 2 hours, coffee enemas, carrot juice, which is full of vitamin A, coffee enemas.
And what does that do?
It cleans the colon and causes, and it makes it receptive to bring the toxins in. It helps bring the toxins,
Draws it out.
Draws it out.
It look like good old coffee in them.
Yeah.
You want to try one
Enema?
on this?
I'm good.
Your daddy can explain what an enema is.
Yeah, I'll explain. Like when you're constipated, I think you probably had one before.
Yeah.
And your mother, I'll explain to you later.
Yeah. And zinc for colds. Some studies have shown that moderate use of zinc lozenges slightly decreases the duration and severity of cold. It actually will help a lot. And too much zinc can suppress the immune system, but too much zinc, it would be really hard to get too much zinc.
They had that problem around here a long time.
Yeah.
Before grandparents came in the water.
Oh, zinc?
High zinc. Yeah.
Well, you can get too much that way.
Yeah, but I think it's regulated now.
It'll displace the copper in your system. You have to have just minute amounts of copper, and if you have too much zinc, it'll displace the copper and balance it. But zinc is excellent. Men with prostate cancer, and they're usually advised by any naturopath to take zinc and saw palmetto, one of those herbs, and very good results.
Some people from the hospital that work in the hospital, they should have been here so they can learn something.
Well, I'm sure they would love to come.
Out of the mountain base.
I know. Yeah, it's a very good idea. How much zinc is too much? Males, 11 milligrams, and if you get some idea, are those zinc lozenges right there on top somewhere? You can get it out. Let me break my arm getting it first. I looked at the dosage of zinc in these lozenges. Each one has 5 milligrams of zinc.
Per 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass these around.
And that's recommended for is that a daily recommendation?
Yeah.
Okay, so you could have 2 of those a day, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, and I suppose rightfully you should look at taking other supplements, how much might be part of that. Vitamin D for colds. Vitamin D plays a role in the immune response and may be critical for fighting off viruses. Let me tell you something else about D. Only we're talking about D3. There's a difference between vitamin D, plain vitamin D, and vitamin D3. Plain vitamin D is fat soluble. So there's a sweet, well, to me they are. They might not be to you.
Oh wait, I think there's some good taste on it.
I like them. It's got elderberry with it too. Kids might not like it. You're used to all that. You're used to all that sweet kid cereal and that.
When you say fat soluble, is the same way as water soluble, that's the definition of fat
Yeah.
fat.
Yeah. Water soluble.
Water-soluble.
D3 is water soluble. It past if you get too much, your kidneys will take care of it. You'll eliminate it. D, however, the fat soluble one, will store in your liver. So they say, watch how much D you take, but take D3 as much as you need.
That's what I got, right?
Yeah.
That D3.
The D3. And D3 has been found to be effective as an anti-cancer agent for colon cancer, and I'm saying what the medical profession, a lot of the doctors now are saying, take D3. D3 is like the sunshine vitamin. You know what it does? It puts those minerals into your bones to where it's supposed to be instead of sailing around in your bloodstream collecting as skin or bone, what do they call those, bone tags, what are they? I can't remember.
Bone spurs?
Bone spurs, thank you, yeah. And collecting in your joints to make you have arthritis.
D3?
Yeah, D3.
So it's like vitamin D to the third power.
There you go.
There you go.
Extra strength.
That's very good. Evolution of the flu, okay. I have all these new flus. Now, have you seen, is it flu, what kind of virus is it they're saying now is antibiotic resistant?
No.
I know
Ebola
this year
is-
when they made the flu strand, it changed after they made it.
Right.
And a lot of people got sick this year.
But see, they knew that because after they gave it to them, then they say we have new strands
Yeah.
out there. And everybody got sick. Yeah, you know.
Now you gotta take another shot.
Right.
I just want to know
Yeah, I don't know.
what does a flu got to do with a pig and a duck?
Well, they're saying that this one, hybrid human-bird virus, forms in pigs and may infect people. Forms in the pig, you buy the pork. Seems like if you cook the pork, you wouldn't get it from the pork. But,
They make
or bird virus, I
Bird
guess
flu.
that's in the air. I'm wondering this, because there's these new strains, these flu vaccinations that we're getting, wouldn't it be the same as becoming antibiotic resistant, becoming vaccine resistant? New flus keep coming up because flu is any kind of virus or airborne or whatever thing. Only the strong survive. And then they reproduce, and each new layer gets stronger and stronger. It's like the bacteria. There are people who have taken so much amoxicillin or penicillin that they can no longer take it. Their bodies are absolutely immune to it, and now they have to have stronger and stronger antibiotics.
what's stronger after that?
They've got so many crazy ones now. Different names that you don't even recognize. There's one that, my husband. That's right. My husband had bladder cancer, and they removed the cancer, and they were IVing this new antibiotic into his veins, and he walked in and he couldn't walk. Remember when he couldn't walk? And no one knew why. And he carried this prescription. Finally, we got him out of the hospital after about 6 days. They thought he was being lazy. He's going to have to take responsibility. And I finally got mad. I said, you know something? I said, one thing he will do is he does not act like a big baby when he is sick. And he walked in here, and there's something going on here. Well, they didn't know what it was. He tried all these different drugs and went home with all these bag full of drugs. I started reading all the precautions, and the one antibiotic that he was taking, because they said the antibiotic, that's the same thing he's been taking. It said right on there that it may cause the joints and the limbs to become so inflamed that the person will not be able to move. I called that doctor. I said, did you know, it's right on the precautions. Oh gosh, I didn't know that. They don't know. That's the truth. They don't know. So, and I have a friend in Florida she's taken a lot of antibiotics over the years. She took something so strong for a blood infection that it destroyed what they call the alveoli, the little hairs in the ears that he used to balance.
Like this. Here's what it's for.
Okay. She was always, it felt like she was on board ship or drunk, out on the waves or drunk. She actually had to go to therapy to learn how to find 2 points on either side of her and walk down the middle to begin to learn balance. She'd go to a restaurant, she'd say, my God, she said, they all thought I was drunk. But that antibiotic was so strong, it destroyed.
Can't get it back.
My aunt that just passed away, it all started from her having a bad reaction to the antibiotics.
Oh, yeah.
She was 82 years old, and they gave her some antibiotics in October, right before she went on a cruise. Well, she was sick the whole time on the cruise, and when she came back, they had to put her in the hospital. And then, but she just kept getting a little bit better, and then she would get worse, and finally she died. But it all started from that bad reaction to the antibiotics.
You see why we have to become informed. We have to save our lives and the lives of people we care about.
Sometimes people think you're crazy because that's kind of like I am. I've been like that. And I remember my wife, she used to think I was crazy. That, because I'm acting like I'm a doctor. I just try to think logically.
That's not acting like a doctor. That's acting like an intelligent person who's not going to let somebody put you down under.
Because they make a lot of mistakes,
They do.
Because I remember when he was at 6 months, he had his kidney removed.
Really?
So we were in the pre-surgery. Doctors are ready to do the surgery, some young doctors. And they marked where they're going to have the surgery. They marked on this side. So I got livid. I was like, hey, you marked on the wrong side. We're doctors. We know what we're doing. I said, go get the head surgeon. And they came back and we apologized. Then they marked them on this side.
Oh my God.
So they took the wrong kidney out.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah, I almost got a charge in there that day.
That's why people why people die in the hospital.
It was at an awesome hospital, but
it doesn't matter.
Just people.
A friend of mine's mother in Charlotte, when I lived there, she was like 89, and they decided that it was Charlotte Memorial Hospital, big time. They decided that her kidney was bad and she was going to have to have removed. Think of this, 89-year-old woman. Think of the pain that you go through with surgery and the life-threatening or the anesthesia and all that. She went through all that and suffered through it. And then they come around after and they do the breathing exercises. The technician said there's something really badly wrong with her breathing that's not just post-operative. She has advanced lung cancer. And they put her through that, and she was going to die from lung cancer. Isn't that awful? I mean, they just...
I mean, like, why you still see the mark?
It's just a scar. They took the kidney out.
Yeah, scars. That was
Did you say, like, when they actually have, did you actually say how you ended the voice, how you said it?
Just like it was probably a little worse than that.
I have a feeling your dad said it a little
Yeah, I was really like...
I think he's being very polite.
He didn't want me to die either.
No, sorry. I wanted them to say
So they took both of them.
No, just one.
So that's
Yeah, mesoblastic lymphoma. They wasn't sure if it was cancerous or not, but when they took it out, it wasn't. He didn't have any chemo or anything like that.
Okay.
Why got hear about it?
That's Now, I don't know. See, and I did a study on a bad impact could have caused a sound barrier or something in the womb. She was working at Georgetown and came out of her office and there was water everywhere and had an impact and he was born the next day.
She fell?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I don't know if that's the reason, but I did a study and that was something that I saw, you know.
My mama got a
I like-
cancer now. My mama got a cancer now.
His mother died of cancer
And she was what?
about 30 years ago.
No, don't tell me Cheryl. Chris. That's all.
I like what the doctor said on Dr. Oz because he clarified so many things. He said, cancer is not something that you catch.
Right.
Cancer is your own cells that are acting in a not normal way and suffering your immune system.
Is it stress?
Stress I think is one of the major things. I'm going to tell you, I think stress is a major forerunner of most things. And same thing.
I watched them on HBO. How they use HIV to cure cancer.
Really?
When they did it, what they call manipulated the HIV T cells. They used the T cells to cure brain cancer. They also use the measles to cure cancer.
Well,